this is going to be your reading for the second half of March. Right away, your energy is coming through as some sort of space where you want to be recognized or feel the need to be recognized and appreciated. It does feel like you're coming through some sort of hardships, like you're coming through this, like you've gone through something, you've made an intense effort to do something, to learn something, to get through something. This could be in several aspects. Could be the repairing of relationships, job, could be degrees, could be any number of things. But I feel like you've really gone through something. You're coming out the other side, and it's like, I feel like you want more appreciation and acknowledgement than what you may currently be receiving. I'm being told that you do need to trust the process. Give it time. Possibly let a situation rest for a period. Yeah, let it rest. Give it a rest. Like, yeah, I'm seeing like you need to give it a little bit more time and trust the process. All right, that's what I'm getting for you right off the bat before we pull cards. So Sagittarius, this is the second half of March. If you don't like if you don't like to see the shuffle or you're impatient, go ahead and fast forward. No big deal. We're going to be pulling from 3 decks. All right. I hope these messages find everyone in good health, good wealth, and good spirits. We will look in the well-being, health, and mental aspect. We'll look at the center focal point. We'll look at relationships, love, family, friendship, and otherwise. We'll look at work, and we'll look at money. All right? I feel like Leo got some similar energy as what's coming in through to in your advice, your spiritual advice section. Sorry, I just realized I was talking like really low. Sorry. I'm not going to redo the first part of the video, but I will speak up. I just realized I was speaking like really, really low there. Apologies. I've been coming in and out of channels that have nothing to do with this generic shit. So forgive me. Yeah, sorry, I was in a place. Here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Let's get these other cards out here and then we'll jump into it. Like I said, if you don't, some people like to see the cards being shuffled. Some people don't care. I personally would do it off camera to make the videos go fast, but I understand why people want to see it. See, that one want to kind of stay in the deck. That's something that's presenting itself, but also may not be. What is that? There's probably all kinds of things flying around here. May not be ready to be explored right now, or it's just kind of on the verge of poking its head. All kinds of stuff flying around. It's beautiful weather out, so I have all the windows open, and 2 of my windows don't have screens, so we might see flies, we might see bees, we might see leaves. There's no telling. Okay, a few more cards here, and we're going to dive into this. Sagittarius. All right, so at your center focus point or focal point right here, you've got stress with the challenge of understanding and nurturing yourself, okay? The challenge of manifestation, even when it comes to your cup being full, your emotional cup being full, how powerful you are, or how powerful you feel. And some of you may have felt a little powerless against the stress of life. Your advice, your spiritual advice, is the Nine of Wands. Okay, it's the word on it is defense, but it is a card of healing. It's a card of being knocked down and getting back up. So like I said, I felt like you were going through something and kind of coming out on the other side. Some of you may be at the tail end of the other side. Some of you may have gone completely through it, gone through all of the steps. And again, when you go through something so trying and you don't feel like you're being recognized in the way that you feel you should, and you don't feel like you're being appreciated, and you don't feel like things are moving forward, or you're receiving the recognition for the work that you've done, and the leaps and bounds that you've made, it can feel like it was all for no reason, and it can be very stressful. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. So, I do see, or the way I'm interpreting this is that Spirit is asking you to go ahead and continue the process of healing. Keep your defenses up, but not in a bad way. Someone else got this very similar. Like, make sure that you're I feel like you've made healthy boundaries. Make sure that you're keeping healthy boundaries. It's one thing to say, I'm not going to stand for this, or now I'm going to go forward and do this. And it's another thing to actually hold yourself to that standard. And it's really hard to do, especially if you have a habit of people pleasing. Not saying you do. A lot of us do, though. And this could be, because we love our family members, or we love our spouses, or, we really want to do great at our job and we want our employees, or, whatever department we're over, or whatever, to really like us, and so this could stem from all kinds of things. So it can be hard to hold firm on your boundaries. That is tougher than a lot of people think, especially when you're extremely empathetic and compassionate, but it is what it is, and that is what Spirit is advising you here. So continue to go forward with the process. It's not a lost cause. The challenge is, I think, you understanding yourself, understanding even the nature of the stress that's being caused. Like, what is the root of it? Because I feel like there's a little bit of blame shifting, and I don't feel like it's intentional. I feel as though maybe you thought the stress or the brokenness or the trauma or whatever it is was coming from some aspect of life. And so you worked maybe really hard to fix this, and it's still there, which tells us that either it wasn't coming from that place at all, or there are other places that are adding to it, right? So that's something to explore here. Continue the healing process. Continue to in this process of understanding. Okay, continue in the process of nurturing yourself, and be kind. Be kind to yourself, all right? Be kind to yourself, especially... I feel like there's something you're not seeing, and I don't think it's intentional, because it feels very much to me like you're open-minded, open to receive. It may be something that you're just kind of overlooking, and it could be because you really don't want it to be the reason that it may be, if that makes sense. Like, you really, let's say you have a great job, you love your job, but there's some shadiness going on in the background with the company or the boss or something. It's like, I really hope that's not what it is, because I really love this job, Or it could be, relationship, like, I really hope they're not doing that, or that's not what they're out there doing or thinking or saying, or, I really want this to work. I really love this person. I really hope they wouldn't do that to me. Nah, that wouldn't be it. You know what I'm saying? It could be something like that. So hold true to yourself, continue in your journey of understanding, even though, it's coming, it's challenging. It's challenging. You're going to have to figure out, Sagittarius, some very healthy outlets, because the stress is very real for you right now. The being on the defense, being knocked down, is very real for you right now, and it's going to be a big effort to go forward in this understanding, and you're going to have to somewhat manipulate your own environment to suit you and have some healthy outlets, whatever that means for you. If it means you have to shut off all your electronics and close your doors for an hour a day or 2 hours a day, or, turn the phone off past 9 o'clock, you're just not going to be able to take anymore. If it means not watching certain types of shows or listening to certain types of music, if it means taking long drives, whatever it means for you, I feel like there's something you need to reconstruct within your environment to help you out with that, because it doesn't look like it's going to get lighter anytime soon with the rest of this spread. So let's jump into over here, the well-being, health, mental aspects here. You've got the Eight of Pentacles here at the focus in this particular stack, with the challenge being the King of Spades. So I do see there's something that you want to start. And this, again, this has to do with coming out the other side, right? I see that there's something that you wanted to start here, or that you wanted to finish here, that you thought was going to bring you a lot more happiness or a lot more ease than what it initially brought. And there's a challenge here of having a real understanding and being fair, or for this being fair for you, okay? You're going to have to look at this logically and see when the best time for certain things to take place is. Spirit is advising you to be true to yourself and make sure that you are doing what makes you happy. And also, Spirit's advising you to remember why you started doing this. Remember what made you happy about the situation to begin with, okay? Especially when it comes to your mental state, all right, and your health, okay? Understand, that there are things that you can do. There are things that I feel like you want to start implementing, whether it's walking 20 minutes a day, maybe you want to start rock climbing, I don't know. But you need to look at the logistics of it. Okay. So let's say, it's allergy season and you've got extreme asthma, and all of a sudden you get a wild hair up your butt and you want to start hiking an hour a day. It's not impossible, but you need to look at the logistics of it. Okay, so we need to be going forward with safe, practical plans for our safety, health, and well-being, especially mentally, all right? So over here in the relationships, this could be family, friends, or romantic. There's a lot of deception that's being focused on right now, okay? Lots of deception and endings, okay? The challenge is coming in with communication and security, all right? What's solid, what's not. There's a lot of insecurities at play here. This could be people feeling insecure and sort of projecting on you. This could be you possibly fighting past insecurities. I do feel like it's a lot of you fighting past insecurities. Whether or not they were projected on you, you're owning them now. So that's important to understand, because you are owning them, you are the only one that can get rid of them. You're the only one that's going to be able to work past them. Again, I do see it posing as a real challenge, especially because I feel like there's some knee-jerk reactions going on here. I feel like you're possibly finding information, especially in regards to this deception, possibly within the home, most likely within the home, or at least things very close to home. And you're having very quick reactions to it. I would say to number one, consider the source. And I would say number two, you need to approach the source. Like, I would say, don't go around asking or probing for information like all the way around the situation. Go directly to the situation and confront it head on, okay? In a very tactful, calm manner. Because you have a challenge here of stability and communication, but I feel like it's really knee-jerk and fast acting, which is going to be very destructive when it comes to dealing with such deceptive natures, okay? Be careful of the people around you, because they may even have that aspect of them, which could be making you react in a way. And from what I see, you've worked pretty hard to get where you are, so I wouldn't want you to allow anyone, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, to set you back in any way. All right, your spiritual advice here is reflection. This has been coming up for a few people. I want you to learn from the past, but I don't want you to sit in the past, okay? Because when you sit there and you dwell there, you have a tendency to repeat it. There is also something that's continued from the past that never stopped, and you need to put an end to that. If you're not going to accept it, if you've stated you're not going to accept it, then don't accept it and get out of it. If you're going to accept it, then stop being upset about it, because there is this sort of vicious cycle that I'm seeing here, at least the warning of such, okay? In the workplace, it looks like you're kind of just doing your own thing. Now, this is coming with the challenge of the 3 of clubs. Be careful, because sometimes, right, it's better that we do things ourselves. Like it's the old saying, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. However, at the workplace, especially the way this is coming in, you need to work as a team, right? It's going to take all departments. It's going to take all people involved, really being up to par to make a business run successfully, okay? To make the work run as smooth as possible. That's why we have more than one person or more than one step or more than one stage that we go through. So even if you're your own business owner and you work by yourself and you do everything yourself, there's still other things that you have to go through, right? Like you have to deal with the state, you have to deal with the county, you have to deal with the city, you have to deal with federal, you have to deal with your suppliers, you have to deal with your customer, right? So there's all these different aspects that need to really be running smoothly. In this particular energy right here, it can be a do-it-all-yourself, so much so that you're not really utilizing your other sources and other people and other workers possibly in other places to really build up and reach those future goals, okay? There is a thing as too much isolation, okay? So there is a very real warning here of taking on too much to yourself and not delegating properly that possibly could hinder, whatever your goal in mind for the future was, okay? Or hinder something that, hinder things in the future, right? Things that you're doing now could hinder things in the future. So make sure that we're not getting stuck too much in this space of the Hermit in the reverse. Make sure that, it's good to double check, and to do things yourself. It's like, if I did it, then I know it was done right. I get that. Trust me, I get that. But you may want to run some things by some other people. Find some people you can trust. Even document and file. Run it through another system. I'm seeing some sort of a checks and balances system. Running something through another system. So let's say you've been logging and doing ledgers by hand. You really need to put it in some sort of, hey, hand and paper is great, especially with the way the internet and systems are crashing these days. However, I would highly suggest you get some sort of a program to do that for you, right? Do those calculations automatically for you. I'm hearing update the system, okay? So the advice in that is the 2 of Wands vision. So you get the 2 of Wands as the advice, the 3 of Wands as the challenge. I love this energy for you because it's like universe is really working with you on this one, really looking out for you. All you have to do is pay attention and take some additional steps, okay, that I feel like you're already, kind of aware of. Let's just stay aware and not let it get away from us so that we don't get ourselves in a situation that it's going to be either impossible to pull ourselves out of or really hard and taxing, okay? So their spirit is asking you to understand that your vision is very valid and very near fruition, but there just are some extra steps that need to be looked at here and some awareness that needs to be had. All right. So over here in the finances and money aspects, you've got the 9 of Cups in the reverse position at the center point. You may not be getting what you want financially, but you've got the King of Wands as the challenge. So it's just a little bit of taking action. All right. And now it may be also, because when I'm looking at the 9 of Cups in the reverse position, it can show a sense of selflessness. So it may be that you're having to maybe be a little bit more generous with your finances than you normally are, because you have the King of Wands there. So again, taking action or not taking action, right? So if there's something you want, basically you're just going to have to get up and do it and make it happen. It's not going to happen without effort, especially because you've got the King of Swords and the Ace of Wands as the spiritual advice, right? Which is ambition and growth. Okay, so that's why I say, like, if there's something you want, if you want more money, or you want to be more free, or maybe you want to make more investments, maybe you want to make more donations, maybe you want to have a whole separate, like, suddenly maybe you're thinking you want like a nonprofit organization or something. I mean, I'm seeing this totally within the realm of possibilities, especially with your spiritual advice, but you are going to have to take some action, and Spirit is asking you, and not only asking you, encouraging you to be ambitious about this, be motivated when it comes to this. Look at the logistics of it. Okay, you've got the King of Swords out here twice. You start with it, you end with it. It's both a challenge and an advice, spiritual. So, again, like I said, I don't see anything here that you're not already doing, maybe just some things to be aware of, okay? And Spirit is asking you to go ahead, make the leap, go forward, and experience that growth. Explore it. It's very real. It's a very real option. I want to tell you, don't get bogged down, and don't feel defeated, okay? Allow things to kind of go at their own pace. As long as you're doing the work and going forward, this will happen. The only thing I see here in this reading with you is it may be happening a little bit slower than what you would like. And that's just something, as humans, as people, we have to sometimes adjust and deal with. As humans, we have a tendency to be very impatient. We want it when we want it, and we want it now, right? Well, it doesn't always work out that way. So I see you being on a good path. Again, just some things to be aware of. And just give it time, stay patient, and trust the process. All right. I love you, Sagittarius. I'll see you next time.